Alright, so for step E1, you're going to need a whole mess of parts. They try to cram everything into step E1. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 4 of my Axial Capra build series. In this part we are going to cover the transmission. And for the transmission you'll need bag E. Alright, so for step E1, you're going to need a whole mess of parts. They tried to cram everything into step E1, but I'm going to break it down into 3 different parts. For the first part of E1, you'll need these following parts. And that is the completion of the first part of step E1. For the second part of E1, you'll need these parts. So I'm actually going to try the Axial black grease out on these gears. And that completes the second part of E1. And for the last part of E1, you'll need these following parts. And this is how the dig system works. And that completes the third part of E1. And this completes E1. Step E2 is also crammed with parts and could be separated into 3 parts. For the first part of step E2, you'll need these following parts. You can see where the dig engages one side and the other side. So you can see that there's 3 positions capable for this transmission. The first one is normal, where you actually see the gears engaged. Then there's this middle spot here where it's freewheeling. You can see the front here is not turning. And then there's locked. Where you can't turn this at all. And that completes the first part of step E2. For the second part of step E2, you'll need these following parts. That completes the second part of step E2. For the third part of step E2, you'll need the following. You also need the fouling piece for step E2. And finally, let's complete step E2. For step E3, you'll need the following parts. You also need a servo for the dig, in this case the Spectrum SX107. I'll put a link to this in the description below. And you also need a motor of your choice. In this case, I am going to try out the Hobbywing Axe 2300 kV. And this is the 540 can. I will also put a link to the system in the description below. Now the Axial Capra comes with a 14-tooth pinion gear. I feel that it's a little bit too tall, and I plan to kind of downsize it to an 11-tooth pinion. But for now, before I get the 11-tooth, I'll use the 14-tooth. Actually, I'm not going to use thread lock just yet because this won't be the final pinion that I use. But normally you would use thread lock. Alright, before we put together the servo assembly, I need to make sure that the servo is centered. So I'm going to be using a Turnergy GT5 system. It's basically the same thing as the FlySky GT5. And I'll put a link to this in the description below. And I'm temporarily using the ESC from the Red Cat Gen 8. This is just so I can test or calibrate the servo. One thing you do need to know for this shifting servo, the shifting servo, the Spectrum SX107 comes with a really short servo cable. So you will need to either buy a servo extension cable or make your own. I happen to have the tools to make my own, so I will be making a servo extension cable for this. Okay, now that I know it's centered, I can go ahead and start putting these dig servo assembly together. That completes the dig servo assembly. You'll need the following for step E4. And that completes step E4. And that completes this part of the Axial Capra build series, the transmission. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of the next part of the Axial Capra build series. Thanks for watching.